some rapid-fire NFL for this week and tie in some look-ahead numbers. This is from like 10 days ago. The look-ahead numbers always come out like on Tuesday afternoon. We discuss every Wednesday here. First up, Pauly, here, Lions and the Bears in Chicago. What was expected to be a weather game doesn't appear to be exactly the case this Sunday. The look-ahead 10 days ago was Detroit 5.5 with a total of 46. As we sit here this morning, Detroit is either 3 or 3.5, and the total is 43 or 43.5.
I know it's a tough one, and we'll see if the weather cooperates. Just windy. All of a sudden, this Bears defense has been great, and they're forcing turnovers and taking the ball away. And, what Goff am I going to get? We talk about Geno Smith, but Goff was pathetic on Thanksgiving. He was bad in this game. He should have had 4 interceptions in this game. And the Bears dropped a pick 6 as well.
That's right.
So a chance here to go over their win total already. You already have a stranglehold on the division, and who knows? They might win this game, and Minnesota will come out here and lose in the late game against the Raiders, and so they still have to worry about the Packers. But it's a great story, though, that they can already go over the win total, and everyone was buying the hype and believing it, and they're going to get this one right.
This is we're actually kind of close to this situation happening. Now, this is woulda, coulda, shoulda, but had the Lions lost the game last week to the Saints and blown that lead, and if they were to lose this game, the Packers could pull off this division.
Yeah.
Packers needed one more break after Thanksgiving, and they didn't get it.
You've got to be concerned about the defense. You have to.
Yeah.
28 points they've allowed or more in 3 of the last 4 weeks. What's gone on here?
This used to be the ultimate checklist from our buddy Adam Chernoff, who would come on with us a couple years ago when Jared Goff was not this current Jared Goff, and he would say, let's see here, Goff is on the road, he's playing outside, and he would just run it down like he's going to throw an INT or it's going to get ugly, and it was like every single week. And this Bears defense, to their credit, you're right, they've been playing much better football as of late. The look-ahead line, Indy at the Bengals, had the Colts -2. You mentioned this last hour. Bengals are up to 1.5 or 2 in this game. And you know the story with the Colts and the overs. It's sitting at, between shop around 43.5 and 44.5. The Colts all year long, with Shane Steichen as their head coach, been a really good team to the over.
They've won 4 in a row. But is this real now with Browning? He was awesome Monday night. I mean, what backup quarterback plays like that and looks like it? And then he didn't do anything against Pittsburgh and hasn't done much in the other starts that he's had in his career. So maybe they found something, and again, it was misleading. They could have scored a 40-burger on Jacksonville if Taylor didn't lose his mind with some of the play calling, what he did. Because one of them, he took him, made it a long field goal, and then McPherson missed that, and then the turnover deep in their own territory. So this is they can do this. They got help last night from the Patriots. They have the Vikings game at home on next Saturday as well. You could look up, and these guys could be 8-6. But you're right. Steichen's done an incredible job as they're trying to go for 5 in a row. I would just go the over. I just think it's going to be a high-scoring game.
Okay.
Because you mentioned the Cincinnati issues defensively.
For sure.
All week you've mentioned it.
Oh, their defense has been trending in the wrong direction now for a long time. And again, Colts been a dead over team for majority of the year. Does the coach of the year come down to whoever wins that game late in the season, Colts Houston, and if that decides a playoff bid? I would think the winner of that game, if it means a playoff spot is on the line, I would say winner of that game, it's probably going to be that guy's coach of the year.
I think so. That's how I would do it. That's how I would vote. Now, I guess Miami could get the 1 seed. But
you think McDaniel would win if they were 13-3 with the 1 seed?
You never know how the media is going to do. I don't know.
Media loves him. We know that.
I know. To me, it has to be. They both might get in. We'll see what Houston does Sunday. But if that's like a win and in game, I think that's got to be your coach of the year. Both win totals were 6.5, and Houston's been trash for years.
Jacksonville at Cleveland. Look ahead before the Monday night loss by Jacksonville and the Lawrence injury was Jacksonville -3. This morning we're sitting at the Browns -3, and the total now is up from 30.5 to 32.5. But you've said this now a couple times today on the show. You think Lawrence might play? Yeah.
They haven't ruled him out, and it looks, I don't know why he came out and he said it. He was the one who refused the cart.
Yep.
I don't know why he did that. But they've covered 10 in a row on the road. They're perfect straight up 6-0 this year. You want to count the London games. For whatever reason, they're awesome away from home. Caesars had this great tweet, and you mentioned it's come up. But the lowest totals the last 35 years. 1993, Detroit, Chicago was 28. It went over. 1993. Indy and the Patriots, 28, it went over. What was going on this year? 1993, New Orleans and Philly, it was 29. 1991, New Orleans and Philly, it was 30. 1993, Bengals and Patriots, it was 30. So you had a 30 last night, went over, and this was 30 and a half, and now it's come up. So we'll see if it continues, where it's too low. And these games have been going over, these all-time totals, and a great job by Caesars putting that together and going back in history.
Sure. Rams are playing at the Ravens. The look-ahead line was Baltimore minus 7.5. That is the current number, and the total here is down to 40.
Well, back up. You don't have an opinion on the game? You were impressed with Flacco, as was I.
I really liked what I saw out of Flacco.
Oh, to come in like that and go shotgun exclusively?
I can't have an opinion right now because I have no idea what's going to happen with the Jacksonville quarterback.
Okay, let's say it's Beathard. It's Beathard against Flacco.
Well, Beathard he was limited.
That's true.
So
he got injured. Yeah.
What if it's Rourke?
Oh, man.
The third stringer. Now, there is a difference here between the Cleveland defense at home and on the road.
That is true.
It's
a big difference.
But I think that Myles Garrett's not close to 100%. That's me talking.
Oh, you're right. I agree with you.
Yeah, it doesn't look exactly like, because that guy was going to win Defensive Player of the Year, and now he just looks a little off. So that doesn't happen without an injury.
Okay, I wanted your thoughts. Okay, Rams game.
7.5, 40. Lamar Jackson did not practice yesterday, illness.
I'm speculating here. Would he have COVID again? I mean, would they come out and say it? I mean, would they still... How many times has this guy had COVID? That's something to factor in. He's 18-1 all time against the NFC. But certainly the run that Stafford's on here with Puka and the records that this guy can set, and they've been awesome the last couple of weeks offensively. Baltimore's a great team, and the defense has been nasty. But now you factor weather into this. The travel doesn't concern me. It hasn't been the be-all, end-all. People used to make a big deal out of that, west to east. Hasn't been that big of a deal going back the last couple years. So there's too much going on here.
Well, here's what I would like to say.
There's weather. Lamar's sick. I don't know.
With the weather, my first thought would be it's going to be a ground game for the Ravens, and they're awesome at utilizing multiple backs, right? So they, in theory, at home, should be able to establish that and be pretty comfortable in this game.
This takes away the passing attack, though, no? Does this become a limited Lamar Jackson, which I rely on Stafford's arm strength? He's not going to be bothered by it. Oh, by the way, I already have a bad weather game at home, and they lost to the Colts.
They did. 30 to 40 mile an hour gusts. Could be up to 3 inches of rain on Sunday in that area. And also, look at what Kyren Williams means to this Rams offense.
And great.
So if I'm going to say that about the Ravens and their running game, well, I have to be equal here on this, right? I got to be fair and say the same thing about the Rams. Because Williams has been an absolute monster this year for that team. And one of the reasons why the offense has been pretty balanced. So this to me is, again, it's Friday. We'll find out more on the injury report today. But if Lamar's illness here, in quotes, it changes everything about the game.
Right. They also have this incredible stat that they've had the lead entering the fourth quarter in every game. The records, I think the 98 Vikings, who did it in every game. But the thing you have to worry about also is the blown leads.
Yeah.
How big is the lead then going into the fourth quarter?
That also goes back to the thing last year.
It was a big
with the blown leads.
And they've done it this year too.
Yep.
They've been awesome first quarter though. 9-1-2 on a money line in the first quarter this year with the Ravens. They come out hot.
Yep. Every Monday when we do the opening numbers on this show, we run them down. We give our early thoughts on that. You said wrong team favored. Chargers against the Broncos when Los Angeles opened as a 3-point favorite. A lot of the market agreeing that it was too many points anyway. It's down to 2.5 in this game. Total is 44.
Yeah, I trust this is a coaching mismatch. What are the odds that Staley survives the season? You can look at that too. And I just think with the season on the line, Wilson coming off the horrible performance against Houston, they'll get the win. The defense is playing better. All he has is Allen to throw to. And it's been a rough year for Los Angeles offensively. And I absolutely, injuries, I can point the finger at Kellen Moore too. Now, Johnson's been a bust. That's hurt him. But this offense is broken, and it's sick to watch.
Yeah,
they should be so explosive. And they show glimpses, and then they look like trash in every other game. Like the Baltimore game on Sunday night.
Yeah,
there was weather, but what happened last week. So, and again, there is no home field advantage. It'll be Orange Crush.
Yeah.
It'll be Bronco Nation out there.
I think the coaching staff in LA is so bad that I've now questioned whether or not Justin Herbert's any good for like a month. And that should never happen, ever, because I love the guy. Mm-hmm. He's got a rocket for an arm, and his ceiling is just it should take off on a rocket ship, and he should be in the MVP conversation every single year.
Yep.
So that's how bad I think the coaching staff is here with the Chargers. Broncos on teasers, I think, would be a good play. And what are we saying here if Russell Wilson doesn't throw that INT and instead throws a touchdown at the end of the game last week?
I know. It was just right that they handled that so poorly. It
was awful.
They were taking too much time. They weren't taking shots at the end zone. There was too much of, I don't want to give Stroud time. And then, it's third and long. Yep. So if he doesn't throw in 3 interceptions, they absolutely win that game. And give credit to the defense, though, too. They shut down Houston for much of the game. What an incredible turnaround.
Yep.
Go to VSiN.com/subscribe to become a VSiN Pro subscriber today.